Hi, in this tutorial we're going to talk a little bit more about accessing elements in 2D arrays, namely traversing the entire array using a basic for loop or nested for loops in the case of 2D arrays. So let's start by simply filling our array myInts with all random numbers. So this would be an example of accessing the entire 2D array for something. Okay, so we're going to fill myInts with random numbers. So in order to access all of the elements in a 2D array, we need to use a set of nested loops. And one loop is going to go through, we're going to use what we call row major order, which is just namely, we're going to go through it one row at a time. You can also go in column order, where you go one column at a time. You just need to make some adjustments to your for loops. So we're going to say for an I equals 0, I is less than myInts.length, and then I plus plus. Now inside that for loop, we're going to have another for loop. J equals 0, J is less than myInts bracket 0.length, and then J plus plus. So basically, when we just indicate the myInts.length, because of a 2D array is really an array of arrays, we are basically finding how many rows it has by doing myInts.length. That's going to figure out how many rows there are. When we do the myInts bracket 0.length, that's basically saying, tell me the length of that first array in the array of arrays, which is really confusing, but in essence, it's really just saying, give me the length of the first row. Now, I don't have to use a 0 in there. I could use a 1 or a 2, but because we often don't know how long how many rows the array has, it's usually safest to use a 0 so that, at least it's going to have one row in it. So the outer loop goes through the rows, the inner loop goes through the columns. So basically, the inner loop is going to go and fill every single column in the first row before it then moves on to the next row and then fills every single column again. So we are just going to say myInts bracket I bracket J. So that would get element IJ, right? Row I, column J. And then we're just going to put in a random number there. So we're going to say math.random times 100. We'll just go 1 to 9 or 0 to 99 again. Okay, so that is basically how to traverse an entire 2D array, going one row at a time. So this is going to be our general structure right here that we use. So just to kind of show that structure off and test it out, let's go ahead and just copy and paste it down here. And this time we're just going to do a system.out.print myInts bracket I bracket J plus, I'm going to put a space in between each number that I'm printing, and then a system.out.println blank. So let me just kind of talk a little bit about what I'm doing here. So as we print all of the elements in a row, right, because we're going through one row at a time, we are going to use a plain print so that they all show up on the same line. And then each time we print an element, we're going to put a space after it so that there's a little space in between each one. Once I'm done printing an entire row, so that would be once the entire inner for loop finishes executing, right? That would take care of the first row. Then I'm just going to print a blank system.out.println, and that will take us to a new line. So then therefore each row will go on its own line. So let's just go ahead and test our work here, make sure we don't have any little typos going on. So you can see here, if I look at my array at the very beginning, I have an array that's 3 rows and 4 columns. And you can see that when I go to print this, it looks like a little chart with 3 rows in it, starting with 93, starting with 77, starting with 20, and then 4 columns going up and down. So there's just kind of your basic access to, the entire array. So think about the fact that you could sum up all the elements using the same structure. We're just going to put a sum inside of it. So I could have just said here like int sum equals 0. And then while I'm printing, I could say that sum plus equals my ints bracket I bracket j, right? So there's a lot of things we can do inside the for loop, which will just be your common algorithms that you see with a 1D array. You can see the same algorithms in a 2D array, right? I can find a sum, I could find an average, I could find all the even elements, all the odds using if statements, etc. So, I do have a typo though. Maybe I can catch it before it runs. So this time I just did a quick run again, printing all of my elements here. Now this one looks a little bit off because all of my elements are single digit there, so that didn't look so nice. Maybe we use a backslash tab in between each. And the sum of, if I were to add up all those elements, is 498. Okay, I just want to show one more just to kind of think outside of the box because the AP exam tends to make you do this. But let's say I want to sum the elements in only one row, okay? So when I think about doing that, I just need to think about, I really only want to access a single row. Let's say I want to sum all the elements in the second row. So in this case, the row that starts with the number 56. So when I go to do that, I really don't need a nested set of loops. I really only need one because I'm only working with one row. So I can say I equals 0, I is less than, I need to be careful here, my ints bracket 0.length, because again, all the rows are the same length, so it does not matter which row we pull here as far as finding length or how many times our loop is going to run. But let's say I create another variable called row sum. But when I'm only doing a single row, I can say that row sum plus equals my ints, and I'm going to indicate the row now. So I'm going to say I'm talking about row 1 every single time, but I still want counter I so that it gets the first item, the second item, this third item, etc. Right? So then this might be easier for us to see what it should be compared to what we get, just to kind of double check our work. But when I go to run this, you can see that if I were to focus just on this row here and I add all those together, 46 plus 37 plus 26 plus 49, I'm going to get a sum of 158. So when you're only focusing in on one row, you can make sure, you can just use one for loop. Same thing with columns. The only change would be obviously that I wouldn't put the bracket 0 here. I guess I can just do one really quick. If I do col sum equals 0. These are just really common ones that AP sometimes will get you on. So now we're going to say I is less than my ints.length. And the reason we don't put the 0 in there is because we want to go through, we want to focus on one column, but we want to hit every row. So we want to make sure that my ints.length is indicating how many rows that we're dealing with. So I could say that col sum plus equals my ints. And then this time I'm going to use the I for the rows, and I'm going to use, a set for the column. Let's say I want all of them that are in the first column, column 0. Okay, and then that would give me my sum of a column. But those are just kind of common algorithms that you'll see on the AP exam that you might have to do for whatever reason. So we'll go ahead and run one more test here before we end. Oops. And of course, I had a little typo. Hopefully we don't see any others. So if we take one of our columns, 23 plus 17 plus 67, and add all those up, that's going to give me that sum of 107. So quick little example of going through the entire array, going through just one row of the array, or one column of the array.